This man's name is Dave King, and that's an RC 250. Not only is Dave one of the brains behind the Vets Motocross Destinations, which is arguably one of the best dirt bike events in the world, but he also owns a crazy collection of exotic machines and memorabilia. Today he's going to tell us all about this super rare Honda RC 250. And make sure you watch until the end to see whether we can kickstart this specimen into life. Okay, so this is a very, very special bike. Dave, try and contain your excitement about this one. Tell us about this gem, this specimen that we're looking at right here.
Yeah, RC 250 1996, built completely out of works parts. Probably the only thing that are stock are the plastics. Everything else,
handmade.
Everything else is handmade. Yeah, even down to the crazy tank with these weird indents in it. Just a very, very cool bike. Very cool bike.
Like you said, this is, you got it direct from Japan, is that right?
Yeah, it's a Japanese bike, yeah.
So it never raced in Europe?
Never raced in Europe, no, never raced in Europe. A lot of the parts are brand new, that it's obviously been rebuilt. It's never likely to get ridden again. Yeah, no. But for its time, it was way ahead of the game. It's got, you're on the wrong side, but if you come on this side, you can see on the gear change, that was probably the first year they did the, I don't know the proper name for it, but you could, off the start, you could hold it flat out and change gear. You didn't have to back off.
Kind of like a quick shift.
Yeah, that was the first year that they did that. So, and it was also, there was some crazy link to the electronic link to the carb. Yeah, just a very futuristic bike, and I think a real pretty bike. Still, yeah. To me, it still looks modern today. To the untrained eye, it will look like a stock, fairly stock bike. But the wheels, RC wheels, are a much fatter hub, and they run on 4 bearings as opposed to 2. The discs and the sprockets look stock, but they're not. They're specially heat treated, and they've got a different bolt pattern. So Honda had to make special sprockets and special discs to fit the wheels. It was just a truly hand-built bike. All the casings were magnesium, adjustable power valve, the works RC 250 pipe. Just so much work went into these bikes. That's why they won. Honda had the most money to spend. They could afford the riders. They had the bikes, and history tells you that they were the best.
You often hear like, oh, the Mako 490 was the best bike to ride, like in the early 80s. But they just could never compete with the might of Honda and paying for the development and paying for the riders. There's just no way you could ever compete with.
Exactly.
With Big Red, with the.
Yeah, there's a bigger picture. It's not just having the best bike.
Yeah, the best.
You've got to have the budget for the best riders, the best infrastructure, the whole package, and Honda so had that right.
On this lineup, obviously we've got a lot of very nice looking bikes, but for me this is the one that
that is
instantly
only,
turns your head.
What is that? That's only 7 years newer than these two.
Yeah, so, you can see how quickly it was coming along.
Yeah, how quickly, but again, these 250s by, what's this, 96, another 2 years, and then the dreaded YZ400 came along.
Yeah,
and
if you think about it, this was kind of like the pinnacle of the 250 era. As the 500 era is waning, and
totally
the 250 era was coming into its own. And so the 96, what we've got here, right in the middle of the 250 era.
I don't think the bike changed very much. It might have changed visually, but I think they had the whole package pretty much right from here right up until.
Yeah. So I would say 96 probably the pinnacle of the 250 era. This is a works machine straight from Japan. So this is maybe the pinnacle of two-stroke tech.
I think so, yeah. I mean, bar the forks, it's not that dissimilar to Kurt Nichols' 85 bike. Kurt had conventional forks, if you remember. It's not too dissimilar bike to that. If it was dressed differently, it would, it could pass off for that bike. So yeah, probably the pinnacle of the two-stroke era.
And what McGrath would have been riding in the same year as well.
Yeah,
totally. The graphics scheme shouts McGrath, doesn't it?
Exactly. If you were to change the graphics on it, it could be a McGrath bike. It was virtually the same bike. That's actually incorrect, because of course the States had that. They still have that production rule. So in Europe, of course, we had full factory bikes, including the frames.
Don't they?
Yeah, but in the States they didn't. They could only have the wheels, the motor, suspension, triple clamps. The frame and I believe the swinging arm had to be stock. I know they used Works linkages
You know they changed that rule though for 1 year for the,
for the YZM 500,
Yeah.
400. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
So they twisted, they kind of bent the rules
Yeah,
to
yeah,
allow
I know,
four strokes
I
into
know.
the game.
And look what happened.
Yeah. If you don't look very closely at this, you could think, oh, I've seen a bike that looks like that before. But it's when you look
Exactly.
you'll never ever see a bike like this just walking around the pitch, will you? This is a super rare machine.
No, I know Doc Wobb had one last year that he built for American Collector, but that's the only one that era to my knowledge. Oh, there's one in a collection in Germany as well, but that's it.
Yeah,
There's
is that RC name that just...
It's the daddy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the RC. Yeah, it's the bike you could never buy.
And there's one right here. And I'm touching it. I feel I should wash my hands after this. I'm not worthy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've owned all these bikes. I've owned the Works Kawasaki's, Works Hondas, and I've never. Well, I may have ridden them around here in first gear. I've never raced them. So, although I've owned them, I can't tell you what they're like to ride.
Yeah. It's that decision as it is. Do you keep it pristine and like a museum piece? Like you feel like you should preserve the pinnacle of two-stroke technology forever.
Exactly, for the future.
But then they're built to be ridden. It's
yeah. The
a
trouble
rock
is,
and a half place. Isn't
yeah.
it?
The trouble is the parts on them.
Yeah.
You can't find them anymore.
Yeah, you're not going to call up Mr. Honda and say, "Oh, sorry, man, I just need
There
that crankcase."
There is actually a parts book where, with all of these parts that still have got parts numbers, that you can check out a Honda dealer, but it will come up unavailable.
Yeah. Sorry, mate, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't have that.
I
one
have
in stock.
tried.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
yeah, it's a cool bike.
What an awesome machine. I feel very privileged to have sat upon such a special steed. But this certainly isn't the only unicorn that Dave has in his collection. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see and learn more about some of the other machines that Mr. King has hidden up his sleeve. For now though, there's only one more question that needs answering. Can we get this beauty fired into life? Let's find out. How good does that sound? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and be sure to subscribe to the channel to see more like this in the future. And check out these videos for some more exotic bikes and crazy collections. As always guys, my name's Max, this has been 999 Laser, and until next time, I'll see you at the track.